What is going on, everybody? We are live. I hooked up the camera a little bit different, so hopefully this is cool to watch. I might put on a glove for this just because my skin's so white. Might be a little too reflective for everybody. But we're going to be working on some gemstones for some dire Avengers. What up? The Dark Knight is in the building. Let me know you can hear me okay. Sometimes I forget to turn on the microphone. I switched the camera a bit so we can see a little bit of painting here. And I think I'm going to work on the gemstones on just the gun of my dire Avengers. And I'm just going to do a red one. And then hopefully it looks good. And we'll worry about the other ones later. So I think we're going to open the wet palette. Crafter's Forge in the building. What's going on? It's going good over here. Once we finish with the dire Avengers, we will be getting a new sheet of paper on the wet palette. But you can see this. It looks so beautiful after it's been used for months. I really like these sheets work a long time. But I've mentioned it before in the stream, but just to show it here in a better view. Up in the corner here, black and white and my gray tones. Some kind of pastel and type colors here. Red, orange, and yellow colors here. And then I'll do green and blues over here. And then I do kind of flesh tones over here. And then as you're working, you can just pull from any of them. So say you're making a flesh tone here, and you're like, you know what, I want that to be a little more blue. You can just take any blue, and there you go. You can tint your flesh tone blue. Maybe you're doing a 5 o'clock shadow or whatever, right? So this is how I like organizing the wet palette. I treat my wet palette more like an oil painter's palette. Oh, nice. Yeah, I just set up the camera in a new way here. So hopefully we're going to work on some dire Avengers. I haven't done the camera in this position yet, so hopefully I can paint comfortably. And I bought a new magic arm thing. So hopefully it works out pretty good. Favorite movie from 2018? Adios, Dark Knight. I'll think about my favorite movie for next time then. Yeah, the hold on, sorry, we're flying to a thing on the chat here. So yeah, we also are almost done with Iron Father Pharaohs here. This seems to be looking pretty good on my screen. I was worried it wouldn't be in focus or anything. But it looks pretty good. Now, I do have a bit of a fear that I will be dropping miniatures into the wet palette. So we might have to adjust that, but hopefully we just won't drop any. But what I was going to say is I set up my wet palette, or I treat my wet palette like an oil painter's palette. So I'm looking for kind of, I don't know, creamy, kind of buttery type mixes and paint consistency. Whereas you may notice many people have it more like watercolory, like very, very watery. That's probably partially just because of the paper I'm using, which is the Masters paper. Which is the, it's not quite as thin as like just the parchment paper. What I think I'm going to do is the red gemstone. I haven't done a gemstone in a while. So thinking dark on top, light on the bottom, white above. So I think we're going to just start with dark red from Vallejo Mecca. We're just going to base coat. We're just going to do one first, and then we'll work on all 10 of these guys. We'll just put some there. Yeah, we are using an old beat up ghost brush. It's one of the OGs. I've had this one for over a year now. And I think what we're going to do is just base coat it. Now, I'm not 100% comfortable with painting on stream yet. So bear with me. It's going to be a skill I need to learn. And we're just trying to get it in one coat without making any mistakes. These models have been oil washed, so the surface is pretty slick. There we go. So just a base coat on the gem there. And if I remember correctly, when you're doing the gemstone, if the light is coming from this direction, this would be the dark part of the gemstone on the top. The bottom would be the more red part, because that's where the light's leaving the gemstone. And then the highlight actually will be in the dark spot up top. So I think we're going to stick with the Mecca too, just for these first test base coats. I'm just going to go Mecca red here. I don't mind if the paint mixes or anything. It doesn't make any difference to me. Slight variations aren't going to matter. Nobody's going to notice. So I think we're going to try to get this in one swoop. And I'm picturing the light is coming from this direction. So I want, hopefully in one swoop, the bottom half. Okay. Not great. And I think the problem is our top gemstone is not super dark. So just for fun, I'm going to take some of this kind of dark blue here. And I'm going to mix it in with that dark red. Create kind of a dark violet color. And we're going to reinforce the top part of the gem. Okay. It's all right. Go back to some of this kind of redder color. Probably not the best choice of subject matter, because it's probably hard to actually see the gemstone. That's okay. We're just testing it out here. Yeah, this kind of stream would probably work a little bit better if I was doing something larger and looser, just so everybody could see it a little easier. And I think we will, I don't know, what do we want? Maybe we'll put a little fluorescent orange on the palette. If you guys have any questions or anything, let me know in the chat or comments. Put the fluorescent orange right up here. And we're going to use that with a little bit of the red. The trick to the gemstone is trying to get a big contrast in a little tiny area. Which I'm not getting quite yet with these colors I chose. All right, it looks okay. And I think the trick is going to be to darken. So we're going to actually take a little black in with some of this dark blue, in with some of this purplish color. And this hopefully is going to be dark enough. Yeah, that looks pretty good. And this is probably a little too much work for an individual infantry gemstone. But we're just playing around right now. And I guess we probably should actually be doing the one on the back here too. This one I'm going to start a little different. I'm going to paint it, base coat it with this kind of black blue. I think that'll make this easier process. And while it's still wet, we're going to just put a swoop of purple and some red. And then some fluorescent orange. This is not working. This isn't great. No wonder I've spent so much time debating these gemstones. Dreading starting them. And this is why, because they're a pain to do. I think we need to take a little bit along the top here. No, maybe not. I think what we actually need to do is put some wash on them to separate them. I didn't necessarily want to do every gemstone on these models, but maybe we'll just do the ones on the guns first, something like that. And what I'm doing now is just trying to loosely block them in quicker than when I was playing around the first time. We'll let that dry for a second. I think what we're going to have to do is actually base coat these all, wash the gems to create a nice shadow, put a nice shadow around the gem against the gun, and then worry about the highlight. I think that's going to be the best way to handle it. And hold on, I got to respond to a Facebook thing here. All right. Looks good. All right, awesome. Yep. If anybody's in the chat has any questions, Hangout, whatever, let me know. And I'm going to move on to another one here. And I think the easiest way to do this, I'm not super big on Eldar gemstone painting yet. It's my first unit of my army. And I'm trying to problem solve it. And I think the best thing to do is going to be to base coat them, rough in a highlight, wash them to create a nice dark shadow around them, and then build up the highlight with a couple little dots. So what we're doing now, just a quick block in. Yeah, that's going to work. That'll be enough detail for the beginning of painting their gun as well. I only got 3 handles, so I guess I'll do 3 and then pull these guys off and put 3 more. Problem with doing these little tedious gemstones is kind of the risk reward factor. Like, well, if they're done really well, they'll look really good. Risk being if I do overspill and stuff, it looks really sloppy. And then I got to clean it up. And hopefully everybody's getting some painting done themselves. I never really paint with a glove on, but I would think it'd be a little bit easier for the viewer. Just so my white skin's not reflecting as much light into the camera. There's definitely a level of tedious to this. And if you look, these guys are covered in these gemstones. I mean, 1, 2, 4 on his helmet alone, 4 on his shoulder pads, his chest, his legs, all down his legs, his calves are covered in them. So you have to decide how you want to attack that. I think I'm going to start with just the gun. Maybe I'll move on to the helmet. All right, I'm going to call these kind of base coated enough. So I'm going to put them aside and put new guys on the handle here. Maybe after the quarantine, I'll buy. Oh, I didn't do this one. What the heck? Maybe after the quarantine, I'll buy 2 more handles. So right now I have 3. And I don't think I would mind having 5. Looks like we lost our audience. Yeah, it looks like I'm going to have to actually clean up these guns a little bit too, which is unfortunate. It's like you just want to finish a unit. You get excited about maybe starting a new army or whatever. And then obviously the first unit's going to get maybe some extra love before you kind of dial in some of your strategies. Then you want to finish this unit and move on to the next. But obviously it's far from done once you keep picking out all these little details. Apparently it's Sunday today, according to my phone. That's exciting. Who would have known? When you're home all day, social distancing, pretty easy to forget what day it is. Oh, sorry, and I guess you can't see right there, but trying to make it as easy for me as possible without making too many mistakes. I've seen some really, really well done Eldar, but you don't actually see too many really high-end Dire Avengers. Which is weird, because these guys are loaded with details. But I was looking for inspiration, and it was pretty hard to find. Didn't seem like a lot of people wanted to tackle all the gems. Ooh, I'm making some sloppy mistakes. This painting position I'm in, you can't see, but where I'm actually sitting right now is not probably ideally comfortable for me for like a long painting session. Seems to be showing up okay on camera though. but I'd be curious how long I can last. Might have to reposition the camera to with a little bit more of my own comfort in mind. If you have any questions, feel free to put them into the chat. See, we got some new viewers in. Working on Dire Avenger gemstones. I don't remember, but I don't think the Guardians have gemstones covering their shuriken catapults, but I hope not. As I can tell right off this one squad I've been working on, I don't think I want to spend the rest of my life painting Eldar gemstones. Of course, by the end of it, I'd get really good. If I made it to the end, of course. So yeah, if you're watching this in the future and you like this view, let me know. Looks like I'm going to be able to do some more hobby videos. I've been trying to figure out a way to film them. This certainly seems a little bit better than not being able to see anything. Ugh. Oh, this fucking Norton anti-security always starts chiming in every time we start this. All right. And we're definitely, I don't know, I guess I'm not steady. My hand's not as steady tonight as maybe it normally would be because I'm not as accurate with my brush. Could also be my sitting position, but I'm doing quite a bit of overspill. I think normally I would have the model up here, but I can't because the camera. So maybe because I'm reaching a little farther. But that's okay because all of that can be touched up when we go to clean them because they're going to require some level of cleanup. We're using Vallejo dark red mixed with some kind of dark blue. And then doing a little rough highlight with just Vallejo Mecha red. And this is kind of just the base coat. Could tell right away that these are going to need to have some sort of shadow, like wash or ink, to create a good separation between the gemstone and the gun. Yeah, it looks like what I'll do is probably just block in all these gemstones, Then I'm going to have to let them dry for, well, they'll probably all be dry once I get through all of them. But I'm probably going to have to hit them with a wash. And then let that dry. And then I'll have to pick out the highlight. Oh, and clean up any mistakes on the guns. So definitely low on brush accuracy tonight. I think we might actually, when we wash these, I think I'll probably hit them with Death Shroud Clear, which is a black clear. Actually, it might be best to do the clean now. I don't know. I don't know if it would be best to do the bone cleanup first or for the guns or the wash first. And we got 3 more to do. And then all the little gems will be kind of roughed in on the guns. I only have 3 handles. That's why I have to take a moment here to switch out. I have a variety of other things I use as handles, which work great, but honestly, I think these GW handles are pretty sweet. When you're using the, GW models are on their specific base sizes. And all we're doing really is trying to block in these gems with just a dark, basically like a purple. I'm using like a dark blue mixed with Vallejo dark red. And they're going to be red gemstones, but I noticed on my first little test, you're going to want to get it really dark, just so it has any kind of contrast to pop. And I'd say I'm happy that the stream looks decent. Feel like you could see some cool stuff happening. Of course, not as much when I'm literally painting the tiniest details on these Eldar models. But I'm happy it works. I'd say it's really actually a little irritating for me right now is I cannot accurately paint at all. I think it's just because this position I'm sitting in is a little bit different. So there may be some changes in the camera in the future. Try and get a little more comfy. That way I can maybe paint a little better and not hit my knee in the table. But yeah, so anyway, the gemstones, probably not the most fun to watch because of the tedious nature of these little things. So I think what I'll do is maybe after I get these done, base coated anyway, I think I might turn off the stream, clean up and wash the gemstones, then maybe turn back on the stream and work on something a little larger that's maybe a little more entertaining to watch. Or I haven't been feeling super great. So maybe actually if I turn off the stream, I'll just get an early bedtime. Ooh, so many mistakes. Got to keep reminding yourself. You can just keep cleaning it up later. I'm not 100% sure which bone color I used on these guns. But I think any bone color to clean up the mistakes would probably look okay. Maybe not the best strategy, but what I'm actually trying to do is get enough paint on my brush that I can cover the whole gem in a base coat in like one stroke. And I don't know if, I think that's, obviously then if I make a mistake, it's kind of a little bit of a large mistake, large blob of paint. But if I'm accurate, then it's quick. And on the plus side, I didn't drop any of my models yet into the wet palette. So that's good. Say this gemstone painting was something I was not looking forward to. And then doing it, I don't like it. So it's not not something I'm going to look forward to finishing, of course. Okie dokie. All right, so we got all of them kind of base coated up. My metallic Eldar. Hey, what's up, Zane? I'm actually just about to probably turn this off for a second. Yeah, I've been trying to play with my camera and I got it set up kind of in I don't know, kind of a cool angle for painting, I guess. It's not super comfortable for me to paint yet, but it's been good so far, I guess. Yeah, I was just base coating the gems on these guns. And then it turns out I'm definitely going to need to hit them with a little bit of a cleanup around the gem and a wash to make them pop, or else they aren't standing out enough. Yeah, I've been going for about 41 minutes, which actually seems pretty bad considering I only base coated 9 miles gems on their guns. But yeah, I need to maybe figure out a better way I need to figure out a better way to sit comfortably so I can paint with my camera like this, or figure out the camera setup a little different that's maybe a little more comfortable. Also, I think it'd be a little more entertaining if I was working on something larger than tiny gemstones on Eldar models. Sorry, I'm trying to take off my glove here. It's sticky. But yeah, with these guys are done in like oil washes and metallics, and then I'm going to matte coat them, and hopefully the matte coat will leave just enough sheen. That'll look pretty cool. I don't know. There's maybe a possibility I could put it on a bookshelf next to my paint here. Maybe I can move it. I'm going to take it off I'll show you what I'm working with here. Take it off the thing. So this is my setup here. So there's the airbrush area, which I don't have anything in there right now. So there's the setup. And then there's nothing there to put the camera onto, but there is this bookshelf here. And I could maybe hook it like to here. And it's kind of like how I got this light above. I just put some, what you would call a baking paper over that because it was way too shiny on the Eldar guys. I think that was pretty close to how I had it. Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to figure out the comfort of me painting if I'm going to actually paint on stream, because if I can't get comfy, then it's going to be just too hard to get in the zone. Where that was one of the advantages of having the camera on the other little tripod thing just facing me, is I could just move freely and paint. Obviously, you couldn't see what I was doing, but here's my little piranha cart that I've shown on stream before for Gaslands. And then this is the Iron Father Pharos, who is almost done. Definitely could use some highlights and stuff on the black. I was getting a little tired of working on him, so I glued him together. He was easier to work on when all his backpack was separate, but what's up, Sean? I'm probably gonna take a break here in a couple minutes. Been working on some Dire Avenger gemstones on their guns, which it turns out is bad content to work out on a live stream because you can't see what the heck I'm doing. So I might have to finish those maybe more off camera and find some other project to work on stream. I do got got some swooping hawks, like seeing them maybe actually get blocked in and stuff could be fun. Or I got a Farseer. Maybe work on him or something. But yeah, right now I'm just messing around with these Dire Avengers still, trying to find a balance of high quality, but also getting them done without picking every little detail. Yeah, I'm not gonna do any video game stuff or simulator. Yeah, the wet palette here. I think after the Dire Avengers, I think I get to retire the wet palette, or at least this sheet of paper, because this sheet of paper has obviously been used for a really long time. I feel like maybe my camera's not in. Actually, I don't even know how to focus it. Seems like it's not as in a good focus as it was before I moved. Yeah, I guess it's okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have to definitely play with getting a comfortable painting position set up. But that'll be something we have to work on. At least we got all those gemstones base coated. Now I know the next step will be to clean up all the little overspill I did on accident. Because of my setup right now and not being, I guess, super comfortable, I wasn't nearly as accurate with my brush tonight. Definitely a lot of overspill. So I think I need to figure out a better way to sit just to help prevent that. I also got this. Hopefully I got this nice camera here. And I bought a memory card for it. And I've had it for a while. I can remember I kept showing it in the corner of the room. So this will fit on this tripod thing, but I don't know how to stream with the camera like this. I don't really even know how to use this thing. There's so many buttons and stuff. It's very, very confusing. So I've been trying to play with this a little bit and figure out, even if maybe I can't stream with this camera, but if I could maybe do some YouTube videos with it or something, that'd be cool. But learning how to use a camera is very, very complicated. It's very much it's like a very in-depth hobby by itself, and it's not really a hobby I'm interested in. Like I do want to do like YouTube and hobby videos and stuff like that, but I'm not interested in like cinematography and movie making, really. So I guess I got to find the balance of being able to just turn it on and go. But all right, I think I'm going to close down the stream for right now. I might jump back on in a bit, but I've been feeling a little fatigued the last day or so. I think I was fighting a fever or something. Not sure. I don't think it was a fever, but felt really achy, and I did a lot of sleeping and napping the last 2 days. So might end up going to bed again early tonight. But if not, I'll be back on or trying to shoot some kind of more hobby videos. So thank you so much, guys, for watching. I'll see you in the comments. Zane, I'll see you, I'm sure, on the next one. Appreciate it as always. Now I need more citrus. You can't go to the store right now. Well, you can, but I'm running out of fresh fruit. I ate half a watermelon today, though, so that should be good. But all right, I'll talk to everybody in the next one. See you in the comments.